Hello, Moth dears. It's been a long time since I've done a video. It's on the iPad, and it's not very clear, but it's the best Avery and I can do for today. This is the second video. I'm going to try. Avery will come down in a bit. We're actually doing it on Lucas's pool table. That's the pool table. We're going to try to do a live video on Facebook after this, but this one is especially to show you the new wool from the closet that's going to be ready to send out this week. And I thought there's just a lot of it. There's a lot of just one-ofs. So I thought the best thing to do would be to have a video and show you rather than pictures. So I think I will get right to it. And the first thing I'll show you is the wool. I do have some kits, but I'll show you the wool first. First we have some wool bundles, and they're very similar. It's difficult to stay in focus there with the camera. This one has, it's just odds and ends. This one has 25, I think. And you can see these are plaids, and yeah, all plaids. Some are the same. There's some alike, and they're just what was left over from the bundles of plaids that I had done. So that's probably a one of, I think. This one, I have it bundled up to go, but it's a lot of one piece. And this is, let's see, there, you can see it's, you probably, maybe you've had one in your bundle if you've had a bundle. And then there are some other odds and ends. There's this one and that one and a little bit of that one. So there's a lot of one kind in this one, and there's 46 in that one. This is, what is this? This is wool, I think. I'm going to do some wool. Yeah, this is wool. Different types of wool. A couple plaids in there. Small piece. Some odds and ends. This is brown. It's not showing brown in the video to me, but so I'm actually not quite sure what that bundle is, but it's wool anyway, and it will be for sale. Keep that out. Then there are just odds and ends. This is a bunch like that. Has a strip in from an old blanket. There's, let's see if I can. There's another piece of that. Mostly it's that, and there's just one piece of this. But maybe I'll just bundle those together. Okay, that's another batch. Then there are going to be some plains like this. These are, if you remember the huge pile of wool that I had dyed, and I had a picture of it on my little cutting table. We took some pieces out. They're the same size as the plaid bundles that I had sent out. And then we took some small squares out. And I'll have those, just little bundles tied together of those. It's not showing up as the right colors, but... And you may have, this is the edge of a blanket where it was bound, and I took the binding off, and the strip is there. So I'll have some of those. And then I'll have some more of the dyed wool. And to me, it's not showing up as the true colors, but I'll try and get the true colors in the photographs when I put them on the moth group. And they're about this size. They're all cut the same size, so they're about this size. And you see this one's got a hole in it where it's worn, so it's already aged for you to use. And what else do I have? Let's get these out of the way. String, of course. I still have more string now. My string, some of it I sent out in balls, but the ball winder is broken. And I discovered that it was very difficult to ship in those big balls because it was so thick and heavy. It was hard to get in the mailers. So I'm just going to do the string as I've always done it in the hanks, like this. And somewhere I have a little piece of tape. There's a little piece of tape there. Let's see if you can see it. There it is. It will be a piece of tape where you start to unravel it and put it in a ball. So there's still lots of that. And of course there's pennies. Now the pennies, if you've ordered pennies and you've got the, I have to sit back a bit, half my head was off. If you've ordered pennies and you've got them, you know it's a big bag of pennies. Now this is the way Luke cuts them. He cuts them all one size and puts them in a bag, and then I put them so many of each size in a bag for the 500 bags. So there's going to be a few of these. Not sure how many though. Probably, I'd say 3, 4 maybe right now. There will be more. Once I start that huge pile of blankets, there will be pennies from that, and of course there'll be the wool from that. But I don't think that there will be large pieces of wool. I think I'm going to do them mostly in the size that I had shown you, mostly this size. However, if you're looking for a larger piece of wool for something, of course, just tell me on the group and I'll see what I can do. So I think that's I don't know. It's not a fat quarter, but it's that big anyway. And I'll give you the size on the group. Now, as far as kits go, well, there's my head half off again. I will have the Grandmother's Flower Garden. That's the large black pennies with the 3 little pennies on it. I have black wool in the dye pot now to do the 2-inch circles for that. Probably in a few weeks they'll be ready. The problem is the 2-inch cutter is in bad shape. That 2-inch cutter is probably 30 years old. So he's trying to get another one made. So, it takes a lot of 2-inch circles for those rugs. But that's about the only thing that you can do with black wool. I didn't have anything really that I can remember as a rug using black circles. And nothing really that I use black wool for. The other thing is the white wool, anything that's white, like the old white blankets and the white army medical blankets. The only thing that I use those for is the marriage rug. I don't take my white wool and dye it a different color, like red or green or anything like that. It's aged for that brownish, grayish, depending on the dye pot look. And that's about the only thing that I use the white wool for. So I will have more of that as long as I have white wool, because I don't use it for anything else. So, yeah. The other thing that I don't make a lot of in anything else is the, like a charcoal color. Let's see now. That. And that was only, it was a rug. It's a rug on a rocking chair. It's a tongue rug, and it's draped over a rocking chair, and it's one of my very first tongue rug that I did, and that was probably close to 20 years, because it was one of the first rugs that I did too. And the other thing that I use that type of wool for is the Christmas stockings. Now, I don't have very much left of that wool. When I stopped and I got sick, I had a bunch of those blankets, and I was cutting them into the tongue rug kits. But, let's see now. But if they had the medical blanket cross on the center, and they were made like the plaid blankets, the plaid tongue rugs with the tongues going this way, and this was the plaid, the medical from the blanket on top as the center. So I have one of those left. Yeah, I have one of those left, and that's this one. And I have another one that doesn't have the medical one. So it would be like the rug, the tongue rug that I'll show you on the rocking chair, the dark rug. So I have that, and that's only a one-off. Other than that, I have a few of the marriage rugs. I know that some of you want those. And I think right now I probably have three, maybe four. Three, probably. Yeah, three, I think. Because I did my dye pots of the white wool. I still have another batch of dye pots to do, but they're not ready to go, of course, with this batch. All of these are going to be ready to ship, hopefully the end Friday. Well, not Friday, no, because this is Wednesday. Monday. I'm hoping for Monday, depending if Chit Chat is open on Monday. So, right, I have that. Then I have some of this, and this is a tweedy, black and white, I would say, tweedy. And I'm just going to bundle those up and put a price on them, and that's it. They're gone. Now, the last thing is I have a huge piece of yardage that I really don't want, and this looks to be a nice wool. I will test it to make sure that it is wool, but to me it's wool, but it's quite thin. Let's see now. but I think that would be quite good for hooking. And it's a black, it's a navy black. It's not a bright navy like you're seeing online here. It's pretty much a black, I would say, but it's got that little, if you put a really black by it, I think you'd notice the difference, but normally you would look at it and it looks very, very dark. So I don't know how much is in there, but I just want to get rid of it. And it's too thin for tongues. It's, to my liking, too thin for pennies. So if you're interested in it, when I ship, I can always just cut a piece off and send it to you and see if you like it. And I just want it gone. So now, there is something that I need to explain about the tongue rugs, the marriage rugs, the medical one, and the one for the rocking chair. Normally when I did a kit, I would have everything cut. And I did these like this. Then I would put my template on and I would hand cut every one of those for you, which is close to 100 for a kit. And actually with the marriage rug, my first marriage rugs, the kits that I sent out, you know, they had the name in the center. Mine was Croft for my grandparents, and the dates, of course, the dates of their marriage, and the dates, some other dates. I actually, the first rugs that I sent out, I actually did the templates for me. You sent me the name and the dates that you wanted on there, and I drew them with my funny handwriting, and I sent that along with it. So, perfection, you know. Mrs. Perfection. So the tongue rugs that I'm going to sell as kits now are going to be like this. This is it. What you need to do is to buy the pattern from Colleen on Etsy. The pattern has the template for that, but not only does it have the template for that, it has something else that's very important, because you probably could do that yourself. But when you watch the video, you'll notice that I have a large template with the rows where you place all of your tongues. And for my kids, yes, I did that too. Tissue paper, I drew them on tissue paper and sent them in the kit. Yes. Is it any wonder that I'm not doing kits, really? Can you imagine the work? With this wool, it goes white in the dye pot. It stays in the dye pot for 2 days. Then it comes out. It gets ironed. All of my wool, every piece of wool that you receive from me, is, I iron the dickens out of it, honestly. So much for felting wool, right? But you need to have it in the dye pot for the dye to take, and that is the heat, and so it does fluff and thicken. So I iron it, every piece, iron. Then it's cut. It's cut into the squares, and then what I used to do was iron the templates on, and I had hundreds of those templates from freezer paper. Then I would hand cut them. Then I would put them together. Then of course comes the string, which the string is going to be included. You're going to get the string and these to make your rug. The only thing that I'm not including is this template and the big tissue paper template. Now, I think it takes about a yard of wool for this, or a bit over, and I'm including the centerpiece. I'll take that out too. And this is the centerpiece where you would do your writing on it. So everything is there but the little thing and the big tissue paper pattern. But you really do need the tissue paper pattern. So you will need that from Colleen to do the kits. Any tongue rug, you will need that. And also, there is no backing on these tongue rugs. I never sent the backing, even in my original kits. I didn't include anything for the back. And that is, I'm not sure why I did that, but because usually I'm Mrs. Perfect and all that stuff. But I think it depends on how you put the tongues together. You can, it's not, it would be, I would have to send quite a large piece, and you need to make sure to have the extra on all the sides and that sort of thing. So I never did that. But yes, that's this kit. You definitely need Colleen's pattern if you don't have it to go along with this kit. And then you will have to cut your tops on your tongue. The other thing with the marriage rug, not so much with the medical and the one from the rocking chair, but if you're doing the marriage rug and you're doing the embroidery for the names and things like that, this thread that I'm going to include for the tongues is probably going to be too thick to do the embroidery. Now, I do have thin thread. Let me know if you are going to do that, and I may be able to send you a little bit of thread with it, because I have so many just odd pieces of thread, you know, not enough to make one of these, but just odds and ends. And what else? The plaid and lace, and I'll put a picture on Moths for that too, but you probably know which one it is because it was my picture that's supposed to be me on Facebook. It's plaid and lace. I have pennies cut for that for a few kids. And the reason I have those pennies is because I want to get rid of all of the plaid wool first, and I had a lot of scrap. Usually when I have scrap, I'll just add them a little bit into the big bags, but I decided that I had so much, and a lot of it was dark, which you do need for that plaid and lace kit. So I have pennies cut for that. I just don't have them counted out and the backs done and that sort of thing. So those will be coming up, and the grandmother's flower garden is coming up, and I will have a few more of the marriage rugs because there is a bit of white wool left to dye. Maybe it's enough for a set of dye pots, so I would say probably about 3 more that would be there. What else? I should do notes, really. And I think that's it. I don't think I have, oh, I know. I forgot about those. The diamond teaching rug kit. There are still some of those. Now, I believe there were some people from the last shipment that requested those, but they didn't get them. Whether I think the most part was that I didn't have the address to send it to you. So if you're one of those people, I have them and they're in a mailer. I don't quite remember your name and who it was. But if you're one of those people that wanted one from the last batch, send a message to me on the group or email me. I'm not going to tell you my email in the video, but you'll have it on the group. And I think that's it. I think that's it for this one. If you are someone that's not a moth and you're watching this, it's January 5th, 2022, and all of the wool that you see will probably be gone. I expect it all to be gone the end of the week. But I will have more, but moths get first choice. So I'm hoping Avery is upstairs on video on Fortnite gaming. I'm hoping that he'll come down and we may try live video on Facebook. So we'll see what happens, and bye-bye for now.